Aldo, I have a question for you, Aldo.
Sí.
Waldo, congrats on the victory. I know that was kind of an odd sort of ending, but first let me ask you, how is your eye right now?
The eye is bad right now. I know I see it, but no, I see it completely. The eye is made me right now hurt. The eye is more because it's hurt.
In that moment when there was took the eye poke, took the strikes, the round sort of oddly stops. D'Elia thinks he has the victory. What was going on at that moment with you when they came over to talk with you? Did you have the understanding that the fight was just being stopped, that it didn't finish? Because it felt like on D'Elia's side, they thought that the fight was done and he was the winner.
Viste que pensaste en aquel momento, cuando se paró la pelea y mucha gente en casa, aquí mismo, pensaba que había terminado la pelea. El lado de ellos, el equipo de ellos, pensaba que había terminado la pelea. ¿Qué estaba pasando contigo en ese momento? O sea, cuando se paró la pelea para todos, ¿qué estaba pasando contigo?
The first one I see it is the whole clown outside, and the hand win the fight. They get jumping and everything. The hand coach jumping like a hand win and everything like that. And the referee and the other commission, he say, I know start the fight. You have a 5 minute like a recover for your eye and everything like that. And I say, in one point, I can fight like that. Because it's that hurt, like I don't know have a definition. Need the one punch in the huevos is can the same stuff like that. What happened with me is I see at that moment, and they remind me back a little bit. The hand is still punching me while me stop told the fight because I hand punched me that. Hand punched me like 11, 12 times, continuing in my head. But I think they can knock me out like that and everything. It's impossible. I have a break in my head right now. When me have a decision like continue fighting everything, anybody stop me like that.
So immediately after that, you're under the impression of like, I just need to, if my eye's clear, I'm going to continue. There was no doubt in your mind that the fight wasn't done, that you just had to make sure that you were able to physically fight at that point.
O sea, no había duda, en el momento que se dio todo eso, no había duda para ti desde el inicio que ibas a continuar la pelea. Solamente necesitabas del tiempo, o sea, para ti como que no se paró, yo voy a continuar.
Yeah, I never think the fight stopped. I say that because in the moment, that's it, but like because they hurt, but I never like feel like stop the fight for the poke the eye. I feel hungry. After that, and wake up, I asking the referee, hey, how long time you have? I have 5 minutes. How long it be me like that? Oh, it be like 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh, give me 1 minute more. I think it be recover back. But the eyes are getting worse and worse. The happening is like the emotionated, my hungry, it pushed me up like it still continue fight.
Were you experiencing any sort of like double vision or anything in that eye? Once the fight continued, was it still pretty much that you were just looking out of the one eye, but you knew where you were trying to do?
Yeah. The eyes is feel like no, I no vision, I no see nothing like that because if me can try to see it, it's hurt. I try like close more I can my eye, and doing my work, and I don't feel like nothing can stop me after that.
I was going to say that even the commentary team looked like you were very, very angry after that. Were you feeling very angry? And did you know that you had to make a big impression because the eye was getting worse as time went on?
Yeah. Every time every time they may see him, I see a lot of reflection. Like right now, it's like bugging me a lot, or like it's like that. I'm the person that I'm muted my hair and continue fight. It's like the first time that me fight, I got like almost 39 kicking and not feeling nothing in my leg. It's like that. I the person can block me out like the hair and continue fight.
I think that's what's so spectacular, that you were able to take such an injury and then go out and get such a definitive finish. Once you made contact with that strike and you dropped him, did you know that the fight was just shortly to be over?
No, I feel it because I feel it I feel in my hand connected something very good, and I see with hand dropping down. I say, it's my chance. I don't need to wait in my timing, go on the top and punch it to the referee and stop the fight.
And before I ask you about the Tom Aspinall call-out, I feel like earlier this week we were talking about whether or not a fighter should continue once taking an eye poke. And I feel like at one point you were saying, well, if you've been compromised like that, why continue forward if you did? But that never crossed your mind tonight. You instead said, I want to go forward, and I think I can finish this guy.
Look at it happening. It's a breed different. I'm born in Dominican Republic. Everything is war over there. It's like a war, everything. And the one poke the eye, everything happened in my life. This can stop me. I never leave it for the one poke the eye, try like lose one opportunity, can change my life and my family.
And I apologize, we were doing an interview, so I didn't fully clearly hear the Tom Aspinall part, but were you just calling him out as you felt like you wanted to get that shot, or were you calling him out because you were able to continue from the eye poke? I couldn't quite hear what your message was to Tom.
No se escuchaba porque en aquel momento estaban haciendo una entrevista acá, o sea, bajaron el volumen. Pero en la hora que hablaste de Tom, o sea, que llamaste a Tom y lo dijiste, mira, voy por ti, vente, estoy listo, qué sé yo, fue más por cuenta de que quieres esa oportunidad de pelear contra Tom Aspinall, porque hoy es el campeón y quieres ese cinturón, o por cuenta de que, mira, yo con mi ojo peleé, ¿viste? O sea, ¿fue más por esto o fue por el tema de que él es el campeón y tiene el cinturón que quiere?
Yeah, it's like that. It's for the hand to be a champion, and the hand quick because the pocket the eye too, and the third too because the hand is the training partner, and I do it with him like a knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Espinal fight? Because he say Tom Espinal, this is the one that does the best training partner. Hank can have it. What happened? Tom Espinal fighting with Waldo Cortez. I have one training partner. The name is Darrell Fortuny. I wanted the UFC give it the opportunity to him fight over here, him knock him out every heavyweight they have in his division here. Please, Dana, give me the chance to my friend, to my training partner. I promise you. I know talking lie. Give it opportunity, you see.
And last question for me. Did you get any sort of like indications from the UFC doctor? Or what's the next step? They want you just go get your eye checked out? I mean, when can we expect to see you back in? Obviously, got to make sure the eye is good, but what is your understanding of what the next steps are?
Hablaste con el doctor, o sea, hay una indicación, te dijeron, por ejemplo, mira, de la manera como estás, puedes regresar a pelear tanto. ¿Te hablaron? ¿Cuándo podemos esperarte, dado lo que pasó ahí?
No, I see the doctor, he say, he give me like a couple products and therefore put in my eye, like every 2 hours, tomorrow be like put a departure like a 2 times, everything. In 7 days, he say, I'm be ready for the comeback normally and everything. I'm ready for the fighting this December, and the UFC put me in the card, any card they can do it. I want to fight with a Curtis Blade, and I wanted a shot. I wanted like that guy to match it and be available for the win and got a title shot.
Congrats on your victory.
Thank you.
Felicidades con el triunfo. Unas cuantas y pues la respuesta en español. ¿Cómo está el ojo, obviamente? Y le puedes explicar a la gente que si hubo un poquito de confusión, qué sucedió, si pararon la pelea, te pudieron comunicar que iba a continuar, todo el rollo.
Just in Spanish, basically, how is your eye? And can you kind of take us through step by step what happened there from what happened? If it was going to start, the fight was going to restart or not? What can you tell us of that moment?
En el momento que pasó lo que pasó en el ring, él pensó que se iba a terminar la pelea, pero no, él tenía que esperar que los referees se miraran la cámara, qué pasó y todo así. Entonces los referees pusieron la cámara para atrás, hicieron el retroceso de la cámara y miraron que me puchó de verdad el ojo. Yo paré, traté de parar la pelea, pero él me pegó casi 12, 13 veces, creo que hasta más, pero después escucho que el referee que se metió detuvo la pelea por poco de ahí, me puso para el lado, después dijeron como que la pelea se iba, que quería separar la pelea o que se iba a continuar o que sea. En un momento de tanto dolor dije que sí, que no podía pelear así porque el dolor no me dejaba ni casi abrir el ojo casi. Pero ya cuando la segunda vez que vino, el referee dijo, quítale el banco para que se pueda parar. Entonces yo me paré, sentí mejor, más alivio, porque estaba ya, podía mirar alrededor mío, lo miro a él como que ansia de victoria, su clavo afuera que estaban gozando, que habían ganado y eso. Entonces eso me llenó de ira de saber que él hizo lo que hizo de esa manera y no asumió la consecuencia de que me puchó el ojo, ¿entiendes? Entonces eso me enojó, se me llenó de ira, me llegaron todos los recuerdos que había pasado mal, que cómo puedo estar en esta situación, pues de esa manera y todo, y la manera como terminó él, pegándome de esa manera. Entonces le pregunté al referee cuánto tiempo me queda. Son 5 minutos. ¿Y cuánto tiempo tengo ahora haciendo eso? 3 minutos y 20 segundos. Ok, dale 40 segundos, un minuto para ver si se arregla. Entonces en una referee me dijo, estate tranquilo. Le dije yo, como dice, me importa madre que sea, ya quiero pelear ya. Entonces me tranquilizó un poco y ya me estaba llenando de ira, pero al mismo tiempo ya cuando ellos me estaban hablando así, los referees que me calmara, yo también estaba calmando, pero la ira estaba igual.
Just as far as the answer, very similar to before, but he wanted to add one thing, that when all that happened, they needed to look at the replay. At this point, like that's the thing. I saw him celebrating, obviously. I saw all the people outside of the octagon that were with him, in his party. Everybody was celebrating as he had just won, and everybody had to look at it like, because I said, like, he got my eye. They know this. They're actually looking for the replay, so they turned the screens to them, and he started looking, and I was like, well, they need to look at this because you just touched my eye. And I'll tell you, he struck me like 12, 13 times after that fact. So the thing is what really got me mad is, like, first of all, everybody thinks the fight is over. Second, he doesn't see the consequences of what he did. Because, like, dude, you got me in the eye. So what do you think is going to happen? Like, people are going to look at it. They're going to give me time to come back. And at this point, I'm pissed off. Like, I really want to, like, no, this fight is not over. Then what was said, listen, you got 5 minutes. Okay, how much is remaining? About 3 minutes and something and change. Like, listen, give me 40 seconds. Give me about a minute. And we'll do this. And, like, I mean, when they got the stool, they asked me if I could get up. I was like, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But at this point, they had to calm me down, but the ire and the anger was still there. And I mean, I was just full of anger, and I just, well, let's go for it, because that fight was not over. So I was out of anger at that time.
Y el doctor me dijo que cuando me miró aquí en el cuarto de todo, ahí me dijo que tenía un rayón abajo del ojo, todo un rayón que parecía como que la uña rayó el ojo abajo. Y me dio medicamento y todo para que me aliviara.
¿Adentro o aparte afuera? Adentro. So the doctor back here in the exams that were done afterwards, so, post-fight medical, said that there was a cut, like there was like some sort of streak here, and I asked him inside the eye, as if his nail actually got into my eye and kind of struck along the eye line, but inside the eye, so you could see that had been damaged.
Muchas gracias, Eduardo, por la explicación, porque eso es tremendo. Y ahora te doy todavía más felicitaciones por haber superado eso y continuado. Si puedes recordar la secuencia de cuando lo finalizaste, cómo encontraste ese golpe, fue como un martillo, ya lo prendiste y paquete, y se acabó la cosa. Pero hasta después de que le ganaste, te vi regresar a ese dolor del ojo. Celebraste por un segundito y ya después otra vez entró el dolor, me imagino.
Sí.
First, just congratulations on the fact that now knowing this, we know, congrats on a victory like that. Can you take us through the final sequence of strikes that led to the knockout? And also the fact that right after the fight was over and you had won, you just screamed, and like it seemed like the pain came back. So can you take us through that moment? First of all, final sequence, and then the pain that came after.
Sí, porque cuando yo me emocioné que gané, cuando hice el gesto como que todo, como que se abrió un poco y me dolió más el ojo, pero también me llenó de emoción de que haber ganado de esa manera y que antes de abrir la pelea estaba mirando las fotos de mis hijos, las fotos de mi bebé que nació y todo. Entonces eso me llegó a la mente también y me puso sensible un poquito.
So yeah, I got emotional because after I got through the finish and I realized that it was over, I just got really emotional. I kind of screamed, and actually I opened up my eyes and it hurt. So at that point, obviously the pain kind of came back, and I got all emotional too because before the fight I was kind of looking at pictures of my kids and stuff, and that all of that just kind of like got me teared up, and I got really emotional.
Ojalá que se mejore todo, más que nada en lo importante que te recuperes y ojalá que ya estés al 100%, te den ese evento en diciembre para que continúes escalando el ranking. Felicidades, man.
Solo una para mí. Todavía no se han anunciado los bonos, pero si te llega a llegar un bono, ¿qué harías con lo del bono?
They haven't announced a bonus yet that we know of, but if what they have ganaste el bonus. They have announced it. Ganaste el bonus.
Oh, thank you.
O sea,
¿Qué vas a
they
hacer
have
con
not announced. No, they have announced that he has gotten the bonus. So the question is, what are you gonna do? ¿Qué vas a hacer?
¿En inglés o español? Ah, lo primero es arreglar mi crédito para tratar de agarrar casa porque vivo ahora mismo en un apartamento de 2 habitaciones con 4 o 5 hijos y tratar de arreglar la situación así para comprarle una casa este año que viene y que Dios me alumbre ahí para hacerlo bien.
Well, first of all, I'm going to clean up that credit because I live in an apartment to put down some money down for our house because I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 kids. So we need to get some stuff sorted out, and if God willing, we'll get that situation sorted out, and we'll go for bigger, better things.
Felicitaciones.
Gracias.
How y'all doing? Hold on, let me zip it up. Y'all ain't getting a show. Look. I already gave you one show. You guys don't need a second.
Steve, congratulations.
Thank you.
How you feeling, man?
Felt great, man. Felt on top of the world. You know what, man? To headline a card, you know, I know it's an Apex card, but you know what, man? It's still a UFC fight. It's special. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful. I'm blessed, and whoever set this up, Dana, Sean, Hunter, thank you guys for trusting me with the main event.
Now that you've had a few minutes to kind of, I don't know if you've even had the chance to think about your performance, but man, it was pretty flawless. How'd you think about it?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd have to go back and rewatch it. You know, I kind of went blank a little bit in there. You know what I mean? But I felt like I was a little bit more methodical in there. Felt him out, made some reads, tried to see where he was going to try to press, where he wasn't. I felt like he was more responsive to his cornerman than he was to me. So I was able to kind of advance, you know what I mean, and push forward. So as far as the performance, I think that's probably the most I can take from that. But yeah, that's kind of more or less where I guess my mind kind of went in the fight.
What was the game plan coming in? You were aggressive, just kind of coming forward. I don't even think you took a back step. Was that just kind of just pressing the entire time and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I can't fully, you know, give away what our plan was, but what I will say is I was going to be that fly. You know, that one fly that just doesn't leave you alone? I was the fly. You know what? I was going to be around. You couldn't get rid of me, and I was going to stick around all the way to the very end of the fight, whether it was the first round or it was the fifth round. It doesn't matter. So truly, I just wasn't. You weren't going to get rid of me.
Did you feel his power at all? And if you did, like, it felt like you didn't fear it whatsoever. You just kept coming.
No, yeah, he caught me with a few shots. He definitely caught me with a few shots. I felt him, but I don't know if it was just more glancing or if I'm just kind of hard-headed. But yeah, either way, you know, I definitely felt some shots in there. You know, he does create some power. He generates it pretty well. But yeah, man, we're operating at a different level right now. I feel like I'm doing really well. God has truly blessed me, man. I felt mighty in there tonight. I did. Felt strong. Even in the back, you know, there's kind of times where I'm like, man, I got to do this again. You know what I mean? But, you know, once I turn it on, I'm a problem for sure.
But before we talk about what's next, can you kind of rate your year and how big of a year it was and kind of how much you feel like you've kind of pushed forward in this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've just been climbing. You know what I mean? I've just been advancing. I mean, I've worked from the bottom. I've said this before. I've literally been the very first fight on a Apex card a few years ago, and now I'm headlining it. Right? That's why I say, like, God's good, man. I do the work, and I just keep getting blessed, and I'm truly grateful for that. But you know what? I put in the work. I got a good team around me, and bro, we're just literally just grinding. We're grinding because we know that we have the capability to get to the top. I know it's not easy. It hasn't been easy. Everybody at the top, everybody climbing to the top, they all had to get it. And there's more to come. There's more to come.
Big, long win streak. You call that Max Holloway. If you don't get that fight, is there someone else in the top 15 that you'd like to throw hands with?
Yeah, man. I think one fight that makes a lot of sense is probably Josh Emmett. I mean, he has a name on him. He definitely is has a higher ranking than I do, and I kind of felt like I think he's available. So why not? You know what I mean? Let's try to set something up. You know, beginning of next year. I think that'd be a fun fight.
That is a fun fight. And then finally for me, how does it feel to, you know, put Jackson Wink on your back, man? And it's such an iconic gym. So many champions have come out of there, and you're waving that flag strong.
I'll tell you what, man. It's something special to me. I came to the Jacksons over a decade ago. And I've been in and out even longer. I've been fighting for 18 years, and I'm probably in and out of Jacksons for 15 of those years, you know. And I remember one of my biggest goals was to get my portrait on the wall. And I finally got it. I think it was this year. So I felt like I finally earned my stripes, you know what I mean? And it was so cool, man, because that was something I've always wanted, because I got to be part of that team that like created that Jackson Wink legacy. And so now I'm like kind of stapled into that history, which is awesome. You know what I mean? But I couldn't be here without them. Like Greg, Wink, and the whole team. Man, I'll tell you what, dude. Like I feel like it's almost like a super team I have. Like when I'm in the corner, or when they're in the warm up area, like in the back. I see those guys and I'm like, bro, we can conquer the world. You know, it's great.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I know when you talk about conquering the world, you said in your post-fight interview, and I don't want to take it out of context, you said you were here proving your worth. I can't remember if it came in when you were talking about your faith, or if it was just about what you were trying to prove out there in the cage. But you said that you were out here trying to prove your worth. Can you explain on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was in that reference, I was mainly referring to just like being able to like be trusted with the main event. Like is this guy good enough? Like, is he able to give us a show? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I felt like I was able to finally go out there and prove it. I felt like I have been proving it, but sometimes people can fall under the lights. You know what I mean? And I understand that, but I've been in the sport for a very long time. I understand what it takes to dominate. I know also been on the other end of things. Yep. I've been the nail, but I love being the hammer. You know what I mean? And I know what it takes to be the hammer majority of the time. And I'm glad that they saw that in me. I'm glad the UFC were like, all right, let's just give this guy a shot. Let's just see what he's about. You know what I mean? And I felt like I hope I earned my stripes this go round.
And I know that could put a lot of pressure, and I like how you said you got to a point where you got blank out there. So obviously your mind was clear when you're getting ready to walk out to the cage. Was any of those things in your mind before you're walking out?
No.
Or were you just purely focused on the fight ahead?
I was just focused. I was a little like frustrated because it took longer than the normal walk. It's like, all right, we're on, and then you just walk. But because it's the main event, it takes a little bit longer. I'm like, all right, this is dragging a little bit. I don't know if I like this, but you know what, man? Yeah, you just kind of adjust small little tweaks here and there. Sometimes it's new. It's a new environment. You know what I mean? A new situation that I had to deal with. Nothing drastic, nothing crazy, but now I experienced it. Now I know for the next time, just kind of be ready, or just be understanding of what the situation holds.
I think that's a good problem having, because if you get that walk at T-Mobile Arena, it's going to be a lot longer over there.
Yeah.
I have to ask you,
Yeah.
were you watching the co-main event and with the whole eye poke thing? Because I know we talked about the eye poke earlier this week when we were asking like whether a fight should continue. Here's a guy gets eye poked, he continues, gets a stellar knockout, but with the whole odd timing, did that throw off the preparation when you're back there waiting to come out, knowing that this weirdness was going on in the co-main?
Yeah, well, we were warming up in the back, and we gotta time it, right? So like we're in the back, and obviously I thought the fight was done, and then all of a sudden I see someone poke, like grab their eye, and I'm like, is it stopped, or is it? Because I mean, you can still get hit in the eye, It's not like it's uncommon, but to get poked in the eye, it's a little different. And then he turned around and knocked the guy out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a crazy turn of events, right? That's gotta suck. That whole thing just kind of seems just not like a fluid type of situation you would have in a fight, right? It's like you get fouled. I mean, you need some time. You know what I mean? I was confused, kind of. I thought we were getting ready to walk, So I don't know. It's kind of hard to elaborate on that because I didn't get to watch the full fight. But it's hard to avoid certain things like that. I mean, like I said, I think the only way that you can really change any of that is you got to change the gloves. So that's on the UFC or whoever, the commission, whoever's in charge of all that.
And last for me, I'm sure you'll have more time to reflect on this fight as time goes on, but if you look back on everything you had to deal with this week, what's the biggest thing that you're going to take away from this fight week?
It's just special, you know what I mean? To have a poster with my face on it, I won. I had to go through the whole thing, right? I couldn't just have my face on a poster and then just not fight. So I earned that poster, you know what I mean? I get to put that on my wall with some pride on there, you know what I mean? But truly I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful. I'm truly blessed. I thank God every step of the way because you know what? I couldn't do it without him. And I just know how hard I worked. And the people around me know how hard I worked. And I'm glad I was able to come through. I was telling my wife, I was like, I just don't want to let anybody down. And that's always the case, you know what I mean? But it's a little bit different because like with my family, like, I don't want to let my family down. But when you get held with like a main event spot, I don't want to let the fans down. I don't want to let my bosses down. I don't want to let these people down on top of the other people I care about. You know what I mean? So to go out there and just pull through and just freaking just go for it, it was great.
And to earn a bonus as well.
Amen. Let's go.
What do you plan on doing with that bonus?
I got to buy my coach a dog. He says he wants 6 puppies, but I'm going to try to raise with him for just like maybe 1.
Just one for me. Congrats on the win. You called out, obviously, Max in your Octagon interview. You just mentioned Josh Emmett, and you mentioned patience in your career, right? Like, kind of coming from the bottom. Why call out a guy like Josh Emmett where Yusuf Zalal was in that opposite corner tonight? He's always looking for a fight. He's coming off a win. Josh is coming off a loss. Is your mindset like calling out Josh maybe to kind of be more patient than shoot for the stars?
I'll fight Zalal. That's not the issue. The whole thing is name recognition. You know what I mean? I know Zalal just beat Emmett. Did a fantastic job of that. But I still feel like Emmett may have a little bit more name value than maybe Zalal. You know what I mean? Means Zalal will probably cross paths. There's no doubt about it. I just fought his teammate. You know what I mean? So he's probably already game planning to fight me at some point. If it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of anybody. I'll go out there and I'll fight, you know, whoever. I'll fight him. I'll fight 3 people in a night. I don't care. If that's what they want me to do, that's what I'll do. But the only reason why I say Emmett is because, like I said, he has name recognition. He's obviously further down the rankings than me. So, like in my head, I want my opportunities. You know what I mean? I literally just fought someone behind me. You know what I mean? I felt like I just gave someone a moment. Because what does that do for me? I'll probably get back to 11. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I really don't know how the rankings are going to play out. But at the end of the day, this is how I support my family. This is how I make my money. And Onama was just on the list. They're like, hey, you want to fight Onama? Absolutely. All right, just let's figure this out. That's what I do. And if they can give me, you know, I think to the fans, I think it's more exciting to fight an Emmett. Let's have headliners again. Let's go Emmett versus Garcia instead of Emmett versus Zalal. I think I might be able to sell a little bit more with Emmett than I do with Zalal. You know, not to take away anything from him. I respect that guy, but at the end of the day, this is about trying to elevate my career.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win. Awesome performance.
Thank
First
you.
main event. Couldn't have done any better.
Thank you.
You said something. Yes, sir. You're welcome. You said something real interesting. If you could elaborate, that he was reacting more to his corner.
Yeah.
Than you. What does that? What that mean, please, for us not fighting?
They're calling out shots, and he was responding. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was good or bad. I felt like he was attentive to them than he was more attentive to me. He was focused on me. I'm not gonna say he wasn't like in the fight with me, but I felt like he was just like registering what they were, which is not that big of a deal. But I felt like if I'm in a fist fight, I'm of course I'm hearing my coaches. I'm hearing my coaches. You know what I mean? But I'm the one fighting. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they were planning to do like almost like a video game type of like mode where it's just like, all right, we're gonna push X, so then Onama's gonna throw the X. You know what I mean? It was kind of like weird in there. I've never really faced someone like that. But you know what? If that's how he fights, that's how he fights. I mean, I've only been in there with him for a couple minutes. So maybe he's been like that his whole entire career and it's helped him. Not trying to hate on him. It was different for me.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And then you mentioned you're definitely going to be that fly on the wall. Like, just don't let people. We can't get rid of you now.
Yeah.
But that was a really fly performance. You hit him with that overhand shot. I
No
think it
pun
was,
intended.
Right?
All right.
And then he kind of stumbled back, and I'm sure you smelled the blood in the water. Walk me through that finish, because you threw everything at him. Like there was probably like 20 plus punches and kicks to where you're like, no, you're not getting out of here alive. I got you.
Yeah, I kind of, because he is dangerous. He does get knocked down at times, and then all of a sudden he has this like reemergence where like he comes with like a vengeance. It's happened in several of his fights. So, and Greg told me, he's like, Steve, he's dangerous when he is hurt. So you need to make sure that like you go in with caution. He says, but don't go in there and not do what you do. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? I went in there. I knew I stunned him probably 2 or 3 times. And then that third time, I think I snuck almost like a shovel uppercut in, and I knew it snuck in. And I was like, okay, because he was covering up pretty good, and he started to fade. And I was like, all right, here it is. You know what I mean? So I was able to capitalize on it. There's a couple things I would have done differently too still, but at the end of the day, we were able to get the win. We got the finish, and happy about it. Grateful.
Yes, sir. And last for me, I know you have a great team behind you. There's
Yes,
that deep-rooted MMA history in New Mexico.
Yes,
so
sir.
I mean, it almost makes sense that you've had to earn this the long way. But does that make it that much more meaningful, being on this poster, talking to us now, getting all this media attention that you really put in that 18 years decade with the all that, and it sums up to this, and you're like, yeah, this is my due. I put in for it, and I earned this. No one can take it from me now.
You hit the nail on its head. I've literally, from the ground up, I've put in all the work. I've done everything from the bottom. From the bottom, I had to claw my way up. Everybody in the UFC, it's almost like that crab effect where everybody's trying to get to the top, but we're all pulling each other down. I made it through that. You know what I mean? Like, I persevered. Like, I wasn't the best all the time. I wasn't the fastest or the strongest all the time, but I didn't quit. And obviously, my journey still is going to go, but I made sure that, like, I was still going to be one of those guys that you just couldn't get rid of. I'm that fly, bro. I'm that fly. You know what? You can't get rid of me like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I don't quit on myself. I don't quit on myself. Even probably when there's times where I probably should, but I don't. But it's paid off.
It's awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing, and can't wait to see where it goes. Congrats, sir.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Just one for me. Your teammate and friend Diego Brando won last week's Tough Enough main event. Now
Hey.
here we are with you winning. So what's it like? The vibes right now, Jackson Wink and you carrying on the momentum your teammates set.
Dude, the vibes are great. Diego Brandao should be the next UFC fighter entering the UFC. But at the end of the day, he's focusing on himself and he's winning. He's collecting belts. So I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him. I'm proud to call him my teammate. I make sure that he's in my corner. And he's honestly kind of led part of the path. You know what I mean? He was on that wall way before I was. And so I was happy to train with him and get to build his brotherhood with him. And I trust him enough to where I know he cares about me and I care about him. And I make sure that we train together and we're pushing each other to, our max capacity. And me and him are thriving. You know what I mean? And we're creating this environment because Jackson Wink was kind of going through this rebuilding phase. And we're still rebuilding, but man, you're starting to see these guys kind of like immerse and just kind of just take off. You know what I mean? So you're seeing them at the regional circuits. But man, I'll tell you what, dude, these guys are coming. These guys are coming. Just give them a little bit more time. Got to smooth out the edges a little bit. But yeah, Diego's one of my good buds, one of my best training partners, and I'm happy to have him around.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.